I'm going to put you on mute. So if at all you need to unmute yourself, you know the procedure. And I will see you at the other end. Let's come into a comfortable seat. I'm going to recommend you have blocks or cushions for the knees today. And if you can, when you come to the seated position, come to the edge of something with the pelvis slightly elevated. So you have that forward tilt of the pelvis. Gently rock from side to side. Roll the decks forward and backward. Find that vertical position for the spine. Come to stillness, feel grounded. Let the shoulders roll back and down, and then lift the rib cage. Let the back of the head come up a little taller. And close the eyes. We'll focus on the breath a little bit today. When we get hot, the way we breathe can make a big difference. Relax the jaw. And start to feel those long, slow, gentle breaths. Breathing in and out through the nose. As you exhale, gently, just gently squeeze the navel. Feel the abdominals tighten. Empty completely. Relax to inhale. So feel the diaphragm and the abdominals as part of the breathing. Squeeze empty. Relax as you inhale. Feel the belly expand. And just allow the belly to expand. And when there feels like no more air to draw in, relax the ribs and see if there's a second inhale where the ribs gently expand. Resist the temptation to strain. Let the expansion of the ribs be a second natural opening of the lungs. And tonight we're going to use the mouth also as part of the breathing process. Initially for the exhale and then for the inhale. On the next exhale, release through pursed lips. Make a gentle circle with the lips, exhaling slowly. Controlling the exhale by changing the size of the embouchure of the lips. One way to imagine this is inhaling the fragrance of a beautiful flower. And as you exhale, releasing the fragrance through the lips onto a beautiful butterfly on the flower without disturbing the butterfly. Very gentle breath. The kind of breath you'd breathe over a sleeping baby to cool it down. Very gentle exhale, but long, slow, gentle and deep. LSD breath. Starting to slow the heartbeat down. Finding a natural cooling process simply by slowing the body down, slowing the metabolism down. And we'll add one more breath tonight. Over the next few weeks, I want to focus on breathing as part of your practice. So far, we've been exhaling through the mouth. On the next inhale, let the tongue come out and curl the tongue, just like you made a tunnel out of the tongue as a kid. Inhale through that curled tunnel of the tongue. And feel the tongue cool the air down as it reaches the roof of the mouth. Exhale gently, this time through the nose. Curling the tongue, inhale. Cooling the roof of the mouth. Filling up. And as you exhale, exhale through the nose. If you can't make a curled tongue, just let the tongue come out a little bit and let the cool air pass over the tongue. It doesn't have to be a tunnel. And as you exhale, let the tip of the tongue gently brush against the roof of the mouth, exhaling through the nose. Inhaling through the tongue. Exhaling, tip of the tongue brushes against the roof of the mouth, exhaling slowly through the nostrils. I'm going to recommend tonight, in this hot weather, that you come to this cooling breath anytime you like. Just like a dog panting, cooling itself. We use the tongue to cool our core temperature down. Three more breaths. Slow, gentle breath. Slowing heartbeat. Cooling the body. On that third exhale, gently extend the legs. If the back of the thighs, back of the legs are sweaty, just give them a rub. If you have blocks, I'm going to recommend you use a couple of blocks underneath the knees. Straddle the legs into a wide V and come to the edge of whatever you're sitting on, so you have that forward tilt in the pelvis. So extending the legs like this, having the back of the knees lifted, starts to cool down the body as we prepare for dragonfly. Inhale, sit up tall, lift the ribs. Exhale, start to hinge forward, keeping the chin away from the chest and starting to feel the waves of stretch sensation through the body as you hinge forward. And like all our yin poses, always working on softness. So we're not forcing the hinge. We're not straining. We're finding our natural opening here. We're not using the chin to jut forward or drop down. And the way I like to come into Dragonfly is with the knees bent, there's a greater hinge forward. So I can come into that appropriate hinge. And over time, rather than hinging forward, I can lower the blocks to the next level down, pushing out through the heels. Toes curled back towards the ceiling. So dropping the backs of the knees towards the ground, rather than forcing the forward hinge over time, repetition, consistency, the hinge deepens. And some of you might even have the blocks completely removed. So just listening to your own body, driving out through the heels. Toes point towards the sky. Allowing yourself to hinge open. If the hands are on the shins or the thighs, keep the armpits open to continue cooling the body. When you feel positioned, come back to the breath. Gentle, slow, deep. Through the mouth if you want that extra cooling effect. Tip of the tongue touches the roof of the mouth. And on that exhale, sense the body wanting to melt further forward. As if the exhale is simply allowing the deepening of the forward hinge. For 2 more breaths. Now to come out, use the hands to walk along the shins. Maybe coming off whatever you're sitting on. Pick up the back of the thighs and simply rest the feet on the edges of the mat. Lean back into the hands, open the chest. Let the head lift up. And then prepare to come down onto the belly. Stacking the hands under the forehead. Straddle the feet out widely. Toes point out, heels drape in. Knees approximately on the edges of the mat. Feel the texture of your mat. Let the weight of the head sink into the hands, releasing the back of the neck. Crocodile pose. Slow the breath. Let the breath start to cool you down. Now, as we move through this trilogy of poses, remember you can choose the pose that works best for you tonight. When the body is warm and hot, it tends to be a little more supple. If you'd like a little more sensation, bring the elbows underneath the shoulders close enough so that the hands can reach the upper arms. And then drop the hands down. Gently lower the chin. If you'd like to rest the forehead against a block, you can use a block. Gently slide the shoulder blades down the spine towards your waist, feeling a slight tension in the arms. Gentle, slow, cooling breaths. If you'd like to go to the next level, pivot the hands to the edges of the mat. Elbows stay stationary. Fingers point out to the side, thumbs point straight ahead. Press the hands into the mat. Gently lifting the torso. Arms become straight. Feel the openness in the front of the body. Option to drop the chin if that feels accessible. Like you're exposing the back of the neck to a cool breeze. Slow, gentle, cooling breaths. And inhale through the tongue. Exhaling through the nose. Or whatever version of breathing works for you in this pose. Two more breaths. Bending the elbows. Drop the head. Stack the hands. Walk the knees in towards each other. Bending the knees. Twirl the feet. And then sway the legs from side to side. Pause. Drop the feet to the earth. Hands under shoulders as you simply press up onto all fours. Release with a little cat and cow. And then come onto the sit bones for a moment, having the soles of the feet together. And instead of bringing the feet close to you, let the feet walk away from you. And then lean over to the right side and take your left leg behind you. So both knees are bent, one foot behind you, 1 foot in front of you. If you have a block handy, you can use that. Now adjust that front foot, let it come a little closer towards you, and sit up nice and tall. And then exhale, hinge forward and come onto your hands or elbows, feeling the beginnings of deer pose. Feel the sensations, making modifications if you have issues in the knees or hip. Feel the weight of the torso bearing down on the thigh, maybe the calf muscle. Let the hands come out a little wider and spread the fingers like the rack of a big deer. Over time, you can allow yourself to melt closer to the earth. If a block under the head helps, that can be a nice way to support the deepening of deer pose. Elbows and hands can work further forward. And because we're closing the front of the body, slowing the breath down becomes even more conscious. It's felt. You'll feel the belly, the ribs expanding against the thigh. If the head comes all the way to the floor, let the head come all the way to the floor. 5 more breaths. Slow breath. To come out of this, walk the elbows back under the shoulders. Walk the hands back underneath you so you use the hands and the arms to lift you up. Gently bring the feet back together. Close the eyes. This time bring the opposite foot back behind you. So right foot behind, left foot in front, unless you had the other way around. Again, a block can be a handy prop. Sit up tall as you come down onto the hands. Adjust that front foot as needed, back foot as needed, until you can rest on the elbows. If the head reaches the block at any height, You can use the block to allow the head to simply be held. Spread the fingers. And let your journey into deer begin. Relaxing into deer at whatever level you enter. Let your breath start to guide you through the pose. Slow, gentle, cooling breath. And each exhale, perhaps an invitation to walk the rack of the deer out a little further, the head towards the floor a little closer. Too much sensation reflects too much commitment to the pose. Just come back a little bit to release too much sensation. Letting go of grimacing, forcing. Feel the melting, just like the hot sun melts a block of ice. Feel each exhale allow the ribs to melt, head, neck, shoulders. 2 more breaths. And then using the elbows and the hands, slowly come back. Standing the legs, the feet against the sides of the mat. Slowly come down onto your back. Grab the knees and hug the knees nice and widely away from the belly. Squeeze the knees. If a little rocking helps, and just make sure you have a block handy. Reach the elbows inside the thighs. Pick the head up for a moment and see if you can grab your feet. That's it, just grabbing the feet. And lay the head down. If you need something under the head to keep it in neutral head tilt, bring a cushion or a block under the head. Now, if you can't reach the feet easily, grab the shins. Grab the shins. And then slowly open the knees until you have a 90-degree angle and the feet face the ceiling. Happy baby. So grabbing shins or feet. Make sure the head is supported. No strain on the neck. And feel a cool breeze against the back of the knees, cooling the back of the legs. If it's possible, let your shoulder blades snuggle into your mat. So your arms simply pull down on the feet or the shins from the weight of gravity, settling into a stillness here. Held. Come back to your cooling breath. Slow the metabolism. Cool the breath. On the next exhale, release the feet. Let the feet find the earth. Let the arms sink down beside you. Feel the upper body relaxing. Bring the hands to the edges of your hips and thumbs behind the hips, fingers in front. Push the thumbs into the back, feel the belly expand, and then push the fingers into the front and feel the pelvis tuck. So just rocking the pelvis forward and backward with the hands. Have your block handy. Inhaling as you roll forward, belly expands. Exhaling, feel the navel gently come back towards the spine. Let the hands rest beside you. Walk the feet a little closer. Feet parallel, hip width distance apart. Press down through the heels and lift the hips up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, press up a little higher. Make sure the back of the neck is flat against the mat. So you don't want anything under the head now. The next time you press down, hold up, grab your block, and bring it onto the setting that feels right for you. Slowly lower the pelvis down into that supported back bend, supported bridge pose. If you want a gentle arching in the back, bring the block to its low setting. If you want a middle size back bend, bring the block to its second setting, or a bolster or cushion. If for some reason you want a super back bend, you can walk the feet closer, come onto the balls of the feet, lift the pelvis even higher, and then rest the hips down on that tall setting of the block. Make sure the back of the neck feels safe, comfortable. Let the body settle. Float your attention back to the breath. You might feel the sternum and the chin connecting. That's okay. Check in once again. Make sure that the choice you've made is appropriate for your body tonight. Arms relaxed. Feel the front of the body cooling down. Gentle, slow breath. Three more breaths. On the third inhale, press down with the feet to elevate the pelvis to remove the block. Gently come down, one vertebra at a time. Lift the knees, hold the knees, and rock from side to side. Release the feet to the earth. Bring the left hand, bring one hand under the back of your head. Preferably the hand so that if you roll onto your side, you can continue to see me. So you curl up into a little fetal ball and hold the back of the neck so you feel the warm hand against the neck. Contraindications for this is if your shoulder is not feeling good tonight. Otherwise, bring that top hand and drape it behind your back. If you want more intensity, bend the elbow more and bring the palm of the hand, the back of the hand between your shoulder blades. Inhale, lift the right knee up, lift the top knee up, stand your top foot against the bottom foot and roll onto your back, pinning the arm behind you. Take a moment to feel if this is appropriate for your shoulder, hand, and wrist. Make any adjustments. Feel both shoulder blades against the mat. As you feel the opening, gently drop that top knee down towards the floor so you roll completely onto your back, soles of the feet together. The full weight of your body bearing down on that arm. Feel the shoulder. Making sure that you can find delicious discomfort here, not pain. The more you relax the legs and the hips, the more you'll sink into the pose. If at any time you feel to release the hand from behind the head, you can release that hand and let it find its own place of rest. Now slow the breath down. Can you find a cooling breath? Gentle, slow. Diaphragmatic. Three more breaths. To come out, gently lift that knee that was just dropped to stand the feet on top of each other. Roll to the side, curl up. Gently remove that hand from behind the body. Rest that top arm along the ridge of the body. Open up the palm of the hand, spread the fingers widely, and push the fingers towards your feet so you feel the shoulder come away from the ear. You feel that top arm strong, rigid, stretching, reaching for the feet. Keep the palm of the hand towards the floor and then slowly bring that hand out in front of the chest, palm down, parallel to the ground. Reach the shoulder blade out in front of you as if you're reaching for something just out of reach. Feel the shoulder blade release. Continue tracing the horizon with that hand as it comes up over the head. And once it's over the head, rotate the palm to heaven and reach above, reach, reach, reach. Feel that whole shoulder, armpit area stretching out. Keep supporting the head. Now roll onto your shoulder blades, roll onto your back, and reach that arm out to the side, 90 degrees, palm to heaven. Feel that top shoulder stretching. And then complete the circle, bring it all the way back, resting on the ridge of the body. Roll to the other side. Roll to the other side so you curl up onto your side. One arm supports the head. Bring that top arm behind your back or between your shoulder blades. Lift the top knee, standing. The top knee, the top foot on top of the bottom foot, rolling onto your shoulder blades, trapping the arm behind you. In your own time, you can explore, experiment, bringing that other knee all the way over. Soles of the feet together. Letting the hips relax. Inviting the hand that's supporting the head to release the head and find a comfortable position for that extraneous arm. For more sensation, the hand works its way towards the shoulder blades. For less sensation, bring it back to the waist or lift that top knee back. Cooling breath. Inhaling through the tongue. Exhaling, tip of the tongue brushes against the roof of the mouth. That cool tip of the tongue cooling the roof of the mouth. Exhaling through the nose. Cool the tongue. Cool the roof of the mouth. Exhaling. Rest. Find rest in the pose. As if you're falling back into your very essence. 2 more breaths. Start to make your journey back, lifting that knee, standing the feet on top of each other. Roll back to fetal pose, cradle the head, resting the top arm along the ridge of the body. Expand the hand, push the fingers towards the feet, feel that shoulder pull away from the ear. Tracing the horizon, let the hand come out in front of you, palm down, and reach. Feel that top shoulder blade come away from the spine. Delicious stretch. Can you reach a little further? A little further. Trace the horizon now above the head, arms still parallel to the ground. And then reverse the hand to heaven. Start to feel, as you do that, you roll towards your back. Reach, open the armpit. And then tracing the horizon, palm upwards, come all the way around behind the back, roll onto your back, extend that arm. Complete the circle, come back to your side. And bring that top hand down to support you as you gently press up. And come onto all fours. Widen the knees. And if your knees feel sensitive here, I'm going to recommend you either roll up the ends of the mat to pad the inside of the knees. So you have a little padding under the knees. So the inside ankle and the inside of the kneecap are padded. The hands support you, and then gently come down to the elbows into your frog. Now, some people, their hips are going to open so far out that your belly will rest on the ground. That is not who I am. To get more sensation, you simply press through the forearms, pushing the pelvis back a little bit to create sensation in frog pose. Once again, feeling the hips, feeling the cool breeze. If your head comes all the way to the ground, it can. So frog is a somewhat more sensational pose. 5 more breaths here. On that 5th exhale, lift the hands under the shoulders and then walk yourself forward. Walk yourself forward, letting those legs straighten out. You might find yourself on the floor.